Hello and welcome to part 3, Vanishing Points. Zoroaster, Empirical Time. My first formal artwork of the year was an interpretation of both questioning Zoroaster and the understanding of the infinite variable. Within my thesis, it transcended me to a whole new understanding of articulation of thought. Coming across Zoroaster, a religion mainly followed 400 years before Christ during the Persian Empire, and is still followed in parts of the world today. I felt connection within the philosophy of how 0 equals 1, yet the 0 circle means everything. And that boiled down to the equation of 0 equals 1. Now, this is very impossible yet mysterious, held in many religions and philosophies, and in essence is the comprehension of man's existence. Even the religion Christianity book reads, "Without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep." Here it represents, or explaining the concept of there is nothing, yet the sudden imagery of God uprose upon the water. One can even connect this theory to the infamous Big Bang theory. But for many and me, science is just a form of mapping something out. And as for the scale of space and existence, no theory should be taken as fact. That led me into the theory that maybe in form of evolution, and in fact, our consciousness can only ever comprehend the understanding of a beginning and an end. Yet decay moves on and basic compounds remain. The level of water remained constant through living things, and when the world's formation was ready for life. But yet again, these are all theories. To think of something more infinite we consider space to be, it can't really have a beginning. And for the spiral, there is never a biggest point of measurement, or neither the smallest. On a different level altogether, the understanding of infinite variable can also be seen within subjectivity in human behavior and experiences. In Freud, as to give context where we sit amongst all of this, and how in our own nature and species we use measurement to map out things around us. Like Kepler's harmonic law of planetary motion and Leonardo's of Pisa's Fibonacci sequence. My skepticism comes about where we're trying to map out with mathematics, following on from the study's denial of continuation, bringing together the pillars of being in physical tract chakras, being more than just conceived construction of the mind, but also as who thought the seat of thought lay in the heart, not the head. This is also shown by Allah in ancient Egyptian roots of following which described Ba spirit remaining in the chest or bowels, conceivably a concept of the gut, which scientifically was found to have traces of the mind, networking of the mind. Therefore, the heightened state of consciousness has found unlocked by a physical manifestation of itself, underlying within the trispecta of our own mapped out third dimension of body. One has to cleanse our body, being heart, mind, and gut, to disregard the hate and disgust in one's own soul. One has to cleanse and shine the mirror to the heart. A quote from a Sufi mystic saint of Islam. And therefore we must also polish the heart. The cleanse is done by inquiring and using knowledge eradicated by concept of ego and oneself to acquire unity. Traumatic experiences, being the hardest to accept, results in suppression state for the unconscious mind. There's a known quote: "Now and again the daring soul, desiring immortality, has looked back and found himself." The following polymathic life understands the underlying echoes of principles of spirituality, grasping ties that underline all the theological principles which refer, in the end, the original state of being has its own inherent perfection. Thanks for making it through, and I hope to see you on part 4 here. Ooh. Here it is representing harmonic law of planetary. Following the study's denial of the continuation ritual of following bringing together the pillars of being in physical tract chakras, being one must cleanse and shine the mirror to the heart. A quote from Hanrad Abul al-Qadir al-Jahalain. Zoroaster.